Hello everybody, welcome to Friday, and Friday it's MCN time and see what's happening in the world of Marvel Contest of Champions. But before we get into the video, we do have a little bit of a promotion in here, which is for the people behind this camera, which is the OBS Bot Meet 2. Let's quickly talk about the OBS Bot Meet 2. This nifty little camera is going to be ideal for a lot of people that are on the go. But also if you're making content. I was given this camera for free. This is not a paid endorsement. I needed a new camera. OBS Bot sent me this and said, do you want to review it? And I thought, okay, I'll do that. So make a choice. The camera is actually quite affordable. It is £109, but also there is a discount code which you can check out in the link in the description, of course, if you're looking to purchase and like the look of it. I am rocking the 4K 30 frames per second mode. You can switch if you want to a 1080p HD mode if you wanted to. It is up to you. It's your preference how you use this particular camera, and you can go and check out the Meet 2 in the link in the description down below. You might have noticed already that in this little segment I've changed the backdrop to be a bit darker, and this is the way that I want to record, mainly because where my room is, the light comes in and that does mess up what the camera is picking up, and all that extra light is not too great. So I do like creating this kind of environment of making things like darker and just having that kind of ambiance set for me, which the camera responds well with. You might be noticing in this moment that I've gone very blurry, and that is because the camera has an AI auto framing. So if we kind of like try to, there we go, so we kind of like do the magic hands and we've kind of like changed that. It's very responsive, and that is something that's really cool about like cameras like this, having that kind of like change that you can just go, you can blur it up and have the focus change, and then it kind of like comes back and it kind of like it reacts. But of course I created a blurry sense, and now we've got this kind of nice and clear, so you can see how ugly I am. Now you can download the center, which allows you to make changes to your OBS bot webcam to enhance its performance or change it to your liking. There's a lot of personalization things that you can do that really help out the image. You can see image, contrast, saturation, sharpness, anti-flicker, auto exposure, lots of things, compensation. On the console, you can also do zoom ins, so that's helpful as well, whether or not you're doing upper body, close-ups, lots of things. Just change it to your liking. Go and check it out in the link in the description. The OBS Bot Meet 2. A really handy small cam that you can take anywhere, plug in, and it's a pretty nifty bit of kit. Thanks again to OBS Bot for providing this cam right here. I needed a replacement for my Elgato face cam. So it helped out, and I've been using this for the last month, so it's not a case of just going, oh, so here's a product, use it. It was like, no, I've been testing it. You've seen the change in videos, so I have got some good use of it at the same time. So we kick things off with the Crystal Cleanse. So at the point of recording this video, the Crystal Cleanse is up to 118 mil. That's not too bad. Within, what is it, like 48 hours that people have kind of like contributed that. If people did that in 48 hours, right, imagine what they can do in 33 days from now, or 32, whatever you'll see in this video. So it's all very exciting. I think we're going to make it, but we need people to kind of open crystals, and of course people are finding different ways to kind of like go and do it. There is somebody that could theoretically help us out here, no way I'm opening 1k shard solos with an event or not. Damn it. Bring popcorn is God, you cheeky devil. You could help out the cause, but you're not. That's a substantial amount. I think isn't that like 20k's worth? Nearly 30k's worth of those crystals. Like, that's pretty substantial, and that's a pretty big help if anybody can indeed do it. There have been a lot of people that are quite skeptical about like what we can achieve. But it is really possible. If you really look at it, you could get per person. We worked at the sums. If there was if there's 250,000 active players at the moment in game, and each player did on average 4,000 points, we'll be able to get to 1 bill very easily. I'm pretty certain we're going to do this. I would welcome and recommend anybody that knows somebody that stayed away from the game, come back now and just do a stint between now and the end of the year, because it's the 10th anniversary. Look at the freebies you'll get. We like free things, don't we? Especially working hard as a community together for a common cause. Look at this, right? I contributed. If you aren't, I'm curious as to why not. I saw someone else make the point that what else are you going to do with the crystals other than open them? Thought that was a good insight. The only reason that's definitely justified would be pools updating with new crystals. That is a very good point. So, you know, feeling forced to do it. Like, I am opening mine up, but I'm opening mine up towards the latter point of the month, because as I said, I usually do a crystal week when I go on a little bit of a holiday or a break, and I'm going a little bit of a holiday and a break, so I'm going to be, you know, doing a crystal week and releasing a load of crystal openings and stuff. Definitely someone's like I've seen some people like very Debbie Downers about this, like, come on man, rally towards the cause. Kabam Crash says, hello, just to be clear, when I said that this was a test, I was referring to mostly the technology. The next realm event is already being built. Participation in this one isn't going to impact rewards. We just want to make sure all of the technology is working properly before we offer anything crazy. Having said that, I personally will happily open a bunch of gold and solo crystals for some free units and dust. And that's, I think, a lot of people just like ask for that level of, have a crack, help out, do your bit. What if I told you that Kabam might be trying to help you out when it comes to the next Alliance War Showcase? This was a really interesting action report that Kabam put out. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was put out a couple of days ago. And you can see right here, it's got counters. Kabam are giving you counters and options as to saying, like, okay, well, you might want to use this in the next showcase. You can see here, against these champions, common matchups, Ebony Maw, Kindred, and the Destroyer. The counter being Titania. Hitman Future, Arcade, Mysterium. The counter being Maestro, etc. I'm not going to read them all out, but this was really cool, and this does help potentially form a basis, as Cilio says that surely this isn't a hint at the champions we should rank up or be in the lookout for showcases. And it's like, you know, that emoticon, yes, with emoticons. Command Pinwall says, can read into it however you like. Mainly, this was just a report that the team was working on internally anyways, and we thought it might be fun to share some of the info with the community, something new to try and see if the folks like it. But I think it's like really helpful for Alliance War Showcase. And, well, I'd say potential, you know, there's a lot of decent champions. Vox, I think, has become a very big standout champion. I think it's like an underrated champion, which is that sort of rated champion. It's a bit of an like an out there. Of course, we know of the attacking prowess of Kate Bishop, Hulkling, the usage of Titania as a counter to some of those various ones mentioned, as well as Maestro in an attack sense versus those champions. There are some really fun interactions which go by the wayside, but also become top quality counters in you know, that you're going to be going, Alliance War Showcase, I'm going to use these champions against, but potentially will be some very painful opponents. So yeah, that's really good to see and really exciting as well. This is great help from Kabam. I hope that we see more of these in the future. Now we're going to end the show on a big topic, which is points farming Battlegrounds. It's a very difficult one to kind of like talk about, especially when farming points is such a huge deal for certain alliances. It's something I've got to do a lot more of, and trying to find the time to do it, but also guarantee yourself the win is pretty darn difficult. Of course, you're going to be in it to win it, but unfortunately, a lot of alliances require a large amount of points in order to keep within there. You might like your alliance, but at the same time, you'll be, you know, it won't go so well. I know I haven't done as much as maybe I should have done, and that is something that I've got to rectify this season and ongoing seasons with the amount of points that's got to be contributed to Battlegrounds. But it's no tall order. Like it's very, very, and even like somebody, I saw a video of like somebody got banned from Alliance. Like, you know, friendships have been ended because of these extent of, and it's not demands, but it's pressures of getting points. But of course, people are going to farm points within it in order to make their life a little bit more easier in stuff like victory chat. As mentioned here, like a statement that in intentionally losing victory track with energy to farm points against either easier opponents would be a punishable offense, as it should be. Recently I found how big and widespread the issue is. This is something that affects every single player in the game. The scores keep increasing and lower tier players take a beating. There seems to be a consensus among people who keep on exploiting this that Kabam in fact won't take action against it anymore. And when was it? I think this is the message right here, back October? Last year, Battlegrounds competitive mode where players should be trying to win, deliberately losing any sort of benefit to consider by the game team to unfair play. The season will begin monitoring Battlegrounds, detect players deliberately losing matches in order to farm event points against weaker players, as we did with win trading in the past seasons. If we detect players engaging in the behaviors, we will take action against those accounts, including bans if we deem it necessary, etc. Kabam Crash did see this and did respond to it, and he says that, as I said in another thread, since the change to the victory track, this isn't nearly as big of an issue before those changes. Players farming points created a zero-sum game. For every match they won, they only gave up one medal. Now, for every match someone farming wins, they have to give up 4 medals to other players. It doesn't create nearly the same negative experience that it used to, and if someone is farming, they are actually accelerating average players in their climb. So knock-on effect, good effect, bad effect. Having said that, our position hasn't changed. We are monitoring in place, and the most egregious abusers are often punished. We intend to be stricter in our enforcement next season, when the global event will make farming more tempting. It's a real tough one. You know, there are times, I'm sure a lot of us have kind of like thought about it. I've never done it, and I will never do it. But sometimes I go like, I really don't have the time to get the amount of points, and it's like there's it just feels like a lot of time. There's a lot of pressure to succeed in this game, where again, like, you have to go and give up stuff as a result for it. And as I said, like, I'm gonna have to farm points, obviously not like this, but again, it's an extra pressure. It's like I need more time in my life in general, rather than kind of saying, hey, I'm now going to lose an extensive amount of time to farm another mode. I had to give up farming arena because I don't have the time. I've got other stuff on, and the same thing with Battlegrounds is finding the time. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on people, and how we kind of come to a good balance of quality of life farming in game. Yes, it's a grindy game, but then that's the issue that we've changed. We're meant to be changing from a very grindy game to a more, you know, passively enjoyable fighting game. That's why we've seen decent content like Crucible and other stuff like that. But anyway, in any case, like, maybe it should be. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, that's been it. What are your thoughts on the matter of Battlegrounds point farming? I do agree, creating like a fair and unfair place, but then I think there needs to be a balance of quality of life, and that isn't there with this mode. It's like, it's arena but slower, and people would say, well, arena's slow. Well, it's like a similar thing. You're trying to get units, well, I'm trying to get trophy tokens, I'm trying to get higher up to get better rewards. Well, I'm trying to get higher up in arena to get better rewards, but mainly getting units because I need them if I'm a non-spending player to then use them into, I don't know, events like opening ceremony, events like Cyber Weekend, banquet event. It's a very tough thing to kind of find a good balance with this game. But there we go. We go on, we move on, we cover other content, other videos, guides and things are coming soon. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.